The committee of parole is reconvening. It's 12:02 p.m. Would the offender please introduce yourself and give your DOC ID?
Richard G Moreau, 257432.
Thank you, Mr. Morrow. My name is Alvin Roche. To my left is Earl Y. To my right is Mr. Pete Freeman. Mr. Morrow, let me explain the process to you. I will enter some information to the record. We'll verify that information. Then we'll give Warden Myers a chance to make comments, remarks, or you might have some concern. You have guests, and your guests will be allowed to make a statement. You have your brother, John Morrow, like to make a statement, and we have your son, Colin Morrow, and he would like to make a statement. After those, you will be given a chance to make a brief statement on your behalf. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Morrow, you are a fifth felony offender. According to the records, you're what, 56 years old? Is that correct?
Could you repeat the question, please?
You're 56
Yes, sir.
years old?
Yes, sir.
And this is a re-hearing for you. What was your last hearing?
It was August of 21, sir.
August of 21.
Yes, sir. About 21 months ago, I believe.
Okay. Your offenses are, and can you hear me, Mr. Morrow?
Yes, I can hear you. It's kind of sometimes I had a little difficulty in the question a minute ago, but I can hear you fine now.
Okay. Your offenses are, Mr. Morrow, and you were originally sentenced in 2005 in September 29, 2005. And that was for what? Distribution of cocaine?
Yes, sir.
And you were revoked on December 18th, 2017. Is that correct?
I do believe, sir. Yes.
And you received the original sentence was, one second, let me get to another page because it's very confusing. Okay. You're a fifth felony offender, you're 56 years old, and your offenses are driving while intoxicated, fourth offense, distribution of Schedule II controlled substance, cocaine, theft, and then again, driving while intoxicated, fourth offense. It looks like St. Mary Parish, you were sentenced on July 19, 2004. You were revoked in October of 2005. Then you were sentenced again on July 27, 2012, and December 18, 2017. And then you have another sentencing date in 2005. You were revoked in 2012, again in 2017. Then the East Baton Rouge sentence for driving while intoxicated. You were sentenced on October 16, 2012, and you were revoked in December of 2017. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you were resentenced again at the time you were revoked. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. No, my
You was-
parole was,
You received a 10-year sentence in St. Mary, another 10-year sentence. And then in East Baton Rouge, you received a 9-year sentence. And then again in St. Mary, a 20-year sentence. Is that all correct?
I believe it was St. Tammany, no, not St. Mary.
Okay, St. Tammany, okay. Sometimes I get those two confused. It's St. Tammany, okay. And your total sentence, everything is running concurrently, so your total sentence is 20 years.
Correct, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your vote was March 24th, 2022. Your adjusted good time date, March 29th, 2036. And your full term date, March 24th, 2037. Are all those dates correct?
Yes, sir. According to my current rap sheet. Yes, sir.
Okay, that was a mouthful, Mr. Moreau.
Yes, sir.
Case has been assigned to Mr. Freeman. Would you please answer Mr. Freeman's question?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Mr. Well, how long have you served on these charges?
This time right over 6 years.
Okay. What's your educational level?
Graduated high school. I have some VOTEC training through work when I worked with Chevron USA. Also have some HVAC certification. I used to build explosion-proof units for about 4 years. That's my work history and education.
Okay, so we're here today, you have a theft that was revoked, the distribution of cocaine that was revoked, the operation of a vehicle for offense. Your last hearing was 8/11/21. Is that
Yes,
correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what have you done to address your drug and alcohol problem?
Well, I've started out. I had to dig back deep and just look at my past and see what was causing me to drink and basically to fail these paroles and stuff. And I basically came up with I disconnected from my feelings and that I didn't feel the things that I should. That a normal people feels. I would block things out. And since then, taking these courses that I've taken, living in balance, thinking for a change, and all these other self-help programs that I've taken, I've come to realize, my mistakes in my past. Confronting those made me realize that, I wasn't dealing with things the way normal person should deal with things. And this is really caused mainly because my alcoholism. And I used to think that I could drink, and it wasn't a problem, but it was a problem. And that's just the sick thinking, I guess, that some alcohols get to think, that I could just drink sometimes, but I can't drink at all, period. And I've been in recovery ever since basically shortly after I was incarcerated, got locked up this time. Even back when I was in the parish, I was sitting in on certain classes, and in Catahoula, I moved to a faith-based dorm and started the Celebrate Recovery program over there, which really set me off, in my opinion, in the right direction, getting back in touch with God. And it took a while really to search to really find out what was really causing all this. And I guess through all these classes, I've come to realize that my recovery is going to be lifetime. It's as I move on and get better, and maybe start helping others. That's in the future. That's going to help me. But this is a lifetime commitment, and, I'm at an age now, honestly, that, I can't come back. I don't want to come back. I want to live a normal life without any drugs or alcohol.
Okay. So you charged with operating force. How many times did you say you've been arrested for DWI?
Oh, off the top of my head, I'd say maybe 5 altogether, way back from when I had the first one.
Yeah, way back from 1986. We're gonna get into that. Back in 1986, you had an operation of a vehicle while intoxicated, vehicle homicide, and negligent injury. Someone died as a result of this DWI?
Yes, sir. My girlfriend at the time passed away.
And that didn't open your eyes? I mean, it took you another 40 years to realize how dangerous this was?
No, it did open my eyes, and then, I got married, and later on, I guess it went to the wayside. I mean, believe me, I still think about that, and I'm sorry for what happened then, and it's a tragic thing that happened, and
Okay.
still to this.
In 1987, you got another DWI, you pled guilty to that. In 2001, you got a DWI with a child under 12 years of age. Now, you've already had your wife or girlfriend in the car and she died. Now you're going to drink with a 12-year-old in the car? I mean, what was you think? It's just, this record is befuddling to me. And I've seen a lot of rap sheets. I mean, what
There was no
is showing me you're not gonna get back behind a wheel of a car?
I've changed, sir. I don't even think the same way that I used to think. I do regret my past deeply, and sorry for my past and the things I've done in the past. And I've taken responsibility for those this time, and accept those things that I've done. And I'm trying to recover, and doing everything I can to not turn back to any of the ways I used to be.
Okay, let's move on a little bit then. You have a lot of training. What was the previous jobs you held when you were on the outside?
When I came to jail this time, I was working offshore as a crane operator in deep water. My main work history is working offshore as a oil and gas production operator, / crane operator. Then I built explosion-proof HVAC units for 4 years with a company out of Baton Rouge. I've also installed, excuse me, water wells and water pumps and tanks. I got a lot of trades, a lot of skills, job skills.
Okay. You ever had any inpatient long-term substance abuse?
One time I think I did a 30-day treatment there in Fontainebleau in Mandeville.
Okay, 30 days. So that's the longest you've ever had substance abuse in 30 days.
That's right.
Okay. What is going to be your transition plan and your sobriety plan? Where you going to live and how you going to stay from drinking?
Well, where I'm gonna live is my mother's house in Mandeville, and if y'all noticed in the paperwork that I sent, I already have 2 contacts that agreed to sponsor me, or either one I choose. One of them, the guy I've known since high school, that has been sober for quite a while. He's agreed to sponsor me. My main thing is going to be Alcoholics Anonymous. I plan on first 90 days out. I plan on attending 90 meetings in 90 days. That's something that's real popular with AA for people that have gone back to drinking or something. But I feel that's going to set me up in the right frame of mind to stay away from any type of drinking or any type of use. Also, just recently, I have a job offer with a company out of Kenner, Louisiana, TLC AC and heating that I could pursue when I get out. I do have a lot of work to be done around my mother's house. At the time I've been gone, she lives by herself, 83 years old. Also, I'm going to stay positive, take things day by day, and stick to my sobriety. Again, God first and sobriety will be my main focus, period.
Okay. Your medium custody, risk, need is both medium. You had one write-up back in 2020 for a 30U. What is a 30U?
30U is, well, actually, I was making a light in the microwave at the time. I smoked tobacco, and since then I quit. 30U was basically making a light in the microwave.
How many classes have you taken since your last hearing?
Let's see. Finished pre-release, living in balance 1 and 2, forklift, IC3 level 1, beginner computer class, IC level 2, intermediate computer class, IC3, master certification of computer class, job life skills, Cage Your Rage, Thinking for a Change, Inside Out Dads, and I've also taken Living in Balance Phase 1 again. The first time I took it, I'd taken it during COVID through the mail. And I wanted to take it again with an instructor and with other individuals so I could fellowship with them. So I was able to take that. And see what else. Right now I'm in victim impact, the 4th week of a 12-week course. That's pretty much everything I've done since my parole was done.
On a ton of classes. I have no further questions.
Ms. Wise?
Yes. Sir, are you still working in the chaplaincy?
I'm still attending church. Yeah, since I finished that EMOS Bible study, I still attend church regularly. And I'm working in the garment factory here.
Oh, you working? I thought the last hearing you was a chaplain. You're not a chaplain anymore?
No, I never was. I believe the last year I was a yard orderly in the gym, I believe.
Okay. Okay. So now you work in the garment factory.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Since I was denied last time, I got that job and learned a new trade, and I sew on a single stitch machine.
Okay, good. And are you residing in the faith-based dorm now?
I reside in Hope. It's basically all working dorm. Everybody there works.
Oh, okay.
Trustees or such.
Okay. Do you think you need substance abuse treatment, a long-term substance abuse treatment?
Yes, ma'am. I believe it would help me on my release, set me up to succeed in my rehabilitation.
All right, thank you. That's all I had.
Ward Meyer, do you have any comments or remarks?
Well, yeah, Mr. Roche, it's I was on his last hearing, and the board recommended that we all recommend he take a lot more programming, because obviously he needs it, and he has done that. He's done everything we've asked of him, but it's obviously a very big concern with this substance issue. See, as Mr. Freeman pointed out, from 1986 all the way up 2017, and I won't rehash the the things he was doing with the drinking and driving. But my recommendation would be some long-term substance. Really need maybe like the Steve Hall program, something. If the board sees fit, grant this time, you need that.
Well, Well, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Mr. Morrow doesn't think so, but he's a risk to public safety. He likes to get behind the wheel after he has a couple of beers or highball, and he just doesn't care who's on the highway with him. I would think after you lost your fiance or your girlfriend, that would have been, your eyes would have been wide open. And you had 3 or 4 or 5 arrests for DWI after that. One with a 12-year-old child in the car. You've only served 6 years on a 20-year sentence. And you have multiple DWIs on this particular incarceration. When are you going to realize that if you're going to drive, you can't drink? And if you drink, you can't drive. When is that realization going to hit you?
I don't plan on drinking ever again. I can't. I mean, that's apparent. Look at my record. I just lose all sense of all thought of anything sensible, And this.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You say that now because it's the right thing to say. We need a long-term substance abuse program. And I hate to take you out of victim impact, but I think a part of the Steve Hall program is victim awareness.
Sure.
But you're a danger. Simply because you constantly do the same thing over and over again. And I'm afraid that 6 years of incarceration is not enough to hammer it home that maybe I need to change my lifestyle.
What I've been trying to do.
Okay. Would you please open your mic, Mr. John Moreau, your brother, and he would like to make a statement. Mr. Moreau?
Yes.
Yes, give your name and your relationship to the offender.
My name is John Morrow, Richard Morrow's brother. Thank you for allowing me to speak on his behalf. Richard has always been a personable individual that typically becomes friends with those that he meets. I believe being incarcerated has not changed that about him, but certainly incarceration has changed his outlook on his life and understands the gravity of his previous offenses. Yes, he does have a drug or a drinking problem, and that's going to be for life. Myself and our family know that, and we're here to help him. I hope he has demonstrated by his actions, participation in numerous classes and programs, and work as a trusted individual that he has chosen a different path for himself. Again, myself and the family are here for him during his recovery, which will be lifelong, and support him in every way that we can. We look forward to seeing him home with a smiling face. Thank you for your time and invaluable service, board members.
Thank you, Mr. Morrow. We appreciate your attendance and your statement. Would Mr. Colin Morrow open your mic? State your name and your relationship to the offender.
Hello, I'm Colin Morrow. I'm the son of the defendant. I'm here to advocate for my father, Richard Morrow, in his pursuit of rehabilitation and parole. His unwavering faith has been a guiding force, leading him towards personal growth and accountability. During his incarceration, my father has actively participated in educational and rehabilitative programs, demonstrating a genuine commitment to self-improvement. He has put in considerable effort to enhance his skills and knowledge, showing his determination to build a better future for himself. His faith has provided him with strength and motivation to confront his past, embrace remorse, and actively seek transformation. Our family and friends stand united, providing unwavering support and recognizing his potential to successfully reintegrate into society. With a comprehensive plan in place, my father is dedicated to seeking lawful employment, nurturing his spiritual growth, and making positive contributions to the community. I kindly request the parole board's consideration of his eligibility for parole, acknowledging the transformative power of faith and his unwavering dedication to becoming a responsible and contributing member of society. Thank you for your time and understanding.
Very well spoken, and we appreciate the statement, and I know your dad is proud of you.
Thank you.
Mr. Moreau, would you like to make a brief statement before we vote?
Yes, sir. I want to thank y'all for letting me come back up in front of the board today. Hope y'all can see that although my past is what my past is, that I'm trying to change that, and I look forward to a brighter future without anything hampering that. And there's my family. Thank y'all for being there to support me.
Thank you, Mr. Morrow. Is the panel ready to vote?
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
You know, Mr. Morrow, I really think you're sincere at heart. But, there's a lot of temptations out there. Everywhere you turn, there's going to be alcohol. When that first drink goes down your throat, you go forget all about all what you just said. And if you want to go drive, you're going to go drive. I really believe that. I believe you're a big time risk to public safety. I mean, probably one of the biggest I've ever seen. And my vote today is to deny and recommend Warden that you try to get him into that Steve Hall program. I think he's going to need that.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Mrs. Wise.
Sir, I listened intently today. I was on your panel last time, and you did do the programs that I hate for it to look like when we just ask you to do more programs, but it's just not a comfort level today for me to vote to grant you. My vote is to deny. I accept for the recommendation that you do get moved to Steve Hall and really take some time to spend some more me time really learning about who you are, because you do have a good time day at some point, and you do need, and I'd like to see a longer time write-up for you, that write-up in 2020, and that's a longer time without a write-up. And you have law enforcement opposition. Again, I want to thank the family for showing, for supporting them today. It's valuable, it's really valuable. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wise. Mr. Morrow, this panel has a responsibility to protect public safety. And I too am not sure whether or not you fully understand what it means to get behind the wheel after drinking. We're gonna rely upon Warden Myers to do his best to get you into the Steve Hall program. Once you get into the Steve Hall program and you're halfway through, reapply. And if you're doing really well in that Steve Hall program, which is the best program the state of Louisiana has to offer for substance abuse, if you're doing real well and have a graduation date, you'll probably get granted. But until we see that effort to enter into substance abuse treatment, we have substance abuse education, but you need treatment. My vote also is to deny. We have received 3 votes to deny with a strong recommendation that you be transferred to the Steve Hall 9-month intensive substance abuse program. You have a good day.
I couldn't agree more. That was frankly interesting to hear Mr. Freeman say that he might be one of the biggest risks to public safety that he has ever seen. And he's seen a lot of public risks to public safety, but I don't take it lightly. This man has already taken a life. Think about that. And you would think that that would be enough of a wake-up call, but it wasn't. He gets arrested over and over and over, including having his son in his car. He simply is the definition of someone who cannot control what he does as soon as he has his first gulp. It's hard to understand how someone can be so impulsive and immature and selfish, and someone died because of him. He would have witnessed that. He would have experienced it. He would have had to have felt guilt if he had any type of human. He would have had to have gone to the funeral. He would have had to have prison or jail time over it. I don't even know. And then it's like, does it again and again and again and again. And those are only the times that he's gotten caught. You know, it's one thing to be an alcoholic. Go ahead, do it to yourself, but to then continue to get into a car over and over and over again, there's very little. It's a deadly weapon. It's a 2, 3, 4, 5 ton, depending what you're in. Weapon. And for me, it was all said in what he said when they brought up his girlfriend. He said, "I am sorry for what happened." That is such we see that statement. It's incredible how often we see people say those words. I am sorry for what happened. Not I am sorry what I did. Not a break in his voice, a tear, not any feel of even emotion. It was a statement made like a robot. I mean, most of us, if we see someone that we care about even have like a brutal injury in front of us, it would scar our memory. We would get emotional bringing it up, even if it's 30 something years later, 40 years later. He killed her. And he says it so nonchalantly. I'm sorry for what happened. You know, it does remind us that it's not, you know, there are people that I do believe they make a mistake. They drink. They get in an accident. They take a life, and it eats them up inside. And we want to relate to that person. But then there are other people that it's not the alcohol that made them a bad person or made a mistake, or maybe they're just bad people. And he's one of them. When I say bad people, I mean, there's no empathy. It's like that. It's like those two women who were watching now. The one, if you're familiar with the case, she has all these DUIs on her record. She's in her young 20s, and she killed a bride a few hours after her wedding reception. And it's making all the news now because there's like no empathy. Like her jail phone calls are all on record, and you just sit there aghast. What's her name? Yeah, it's Jamie. What's her name? Jamie Lee Komorsky. If you want to Google her, it's like there's something missing. And then there's the other one who killed a woman and a man. One of the legs were actually hanging out of her car, and you see her on dash cam footage. And then in the hospital, she's singing, and they're like, the police officer's like, do you realize you killed two people? And she's like, so are you allowed to talk to me that way? Am I going to get out in time for my test? Can I go to Vegas in a week and drink for my birthday party? And I think he fits right in that bucket. It's like we do share the world with people who don't care about others. And I think that they got this right. He needs to be locked up. He is a risk to society. He has showed it over and over and over again. He's just as dangerous and I would argue more dangerous than the most hardcore gangster, because the most hardcore gangster, in theory, violence, they do have collateral damage, if you want to call it that, but they typically do aim to fight other gangsters, right? While you get my drift, while every time he's out, it's a ticking time bomb, and you don't know who's gonna kill. It's indiscriminatory, completely indiscriminatory. So I couldn't find any records online to share with you, but I don't believe that any number of programs, any number of anything will keep him safe. If he ever does get out, it has to be that he wears a full-time scram bracelet on his leg. It has to be. I don't know if they legally can do this, but they should have absolutely no vehicle ownership allowed and all that stuff. But we've seen other very hardcore DUI cases where they don't seem to have that authority. The only authority they have is to put on a bracelet that basically checks their alcohol content like every 25 minutes or something. And that should be life mandatory, in my opinion. But scary insight into a very dangerous man, as Mr. Freeman says, maybe one of the biggest risks to public safety that he has seen. And with that,